Well, Lane, it's our first sunrise adventures of the season. By looking around, can you tell where I'm at? Yes, it's a beautiful sunny beach. But where? Well, take a look. We are packed up and on the road for another season of Sunrise Adventures. Our first stop this season, Catalina Island. But unlike other trips, we had to hitch a ride on the Catalina Express out of Long Beach. The ferry ride just over an hour and on the open Pacific. And once you arrive, the cool sea breeze and the sound of crashing waves let you know you've arrived to paradise.
The island is what you make it. So if you want to be the adventurous type and go trek the Trans-Catalina Trail from one end of the island to the other and camp along the way, or any version of that, or you want to do the zip line and the aerial adventure, you can do that. You can go, we're known for our really clear water, so you can go scuba diving and snorkeling.
In fact, visitors from around the world travel here just to take the plunge under the blue sea.
Catalina's typically one of the top 10 places in the U.S. to come snorkel and scuba dive. One of the greatest things is the kelp forest and the clarity of the water most often.
Diving is open to the most advanced and for those who have never strapped on a tank before. Richard Hahn had never taken a dive, but with some good instruction was ready to go.
It was beyond what I expected. I was a little apprehensive in the beginning, being in the water, but she was a great guide and I got to see a lot of marine animals.
After a little time in the water, why not explore the vast landscape of Avalon? The Catalina Island Conservancy is a nonprofit that cares for 42,000 acres of pristine land here. They offer eco-tours around the island. Here you can take in nature's finest, from bald eagles to foxes and the mighty bison. This tour also highlights all the native plant species dating back thousands of years. Nature shares this island with 4,000 full-time residents. One of those early settlers was William Wrigley Jr. Yes, that's the same guy who introduced us to the Wrigley chewing gum. When walking around Catalina, look up on the hill and you will see the Wrigley Mansion today.
It was built in 1921, and William Wrigley Jr. really knew exactly what to do to find the best spot. So it gets the first light of the day and the last light of the day.
This was very important to Mr. Wrigley as he held many spring training baseball games for his Chicago Cubs on the island. If you're intrigued to learn more about Mr. Wrigley and so many other cool facts about Catalina, you have to visit the museum.
So the museum, you will come and you will learn about Catalina history. So from 10,000 years ago to more in the Wrigley era, and maybe up to the 60s or so right now, into the 70s.
So whether you take a stroll on the beach, visit the historic casino event venue, or cast a line from the pier, Catalina has it all. After a long day here on Catalina Island, it was time to grab my typical Coke and a good meal here at Coyote Joe's. Nothing like good, authentic Mexican food. A great menu and so much to choose from. Tonight I went with shrimp fajitas. How could I go wrong? After a good meal, it was time to settle in for the night at the Hotel Atwater, a breathtaking hotel that's been on the island since 1920 and recently had a makeover. It's inviting and has so much charm.
Honestly, something I'm always amazed by. Coming in, you kind of have this very modern, chic vibe that you're like, oh wow, this hotel is just so nice. And to know that it has so much history, it always amazes me. Just that there's so much time that has been put into this hotel and how it's just kind of changed and lasted throughout the years.
What a great way to start off our sunrise adventures. Now it's time for you to create unforgettable memories with the entire family.